Alright, welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna make a video today. I have a long video of the whole rear suspension on an NB Miata. I kind of want to take a chunk of it out for the rear wheel bearings. They are the press-in type. This would be for NA and NB. I don't know about the rest. A lot of people think you need a press to get those in and out. A lot of people don't want to do the work just because it's kind of a pain, to be honest with you. You can get it done with a sledgehammer, some big sockets, and a chunk of 2x4. So I'm going to take that chunk of video out and show you how to do that. I can't talk right. Anyway. So if you want to see that, stay tuned. Hope you enjoy. Then let's get after it. So now we're down to wheel bearings. Again, it's way better to have a press, but I'll show you how to do it without one per se. This part's the hardest. I can't even do this in the press. I got to do it in a vise or something. You can't set this on the ground. You need to get a hold of this and have it kind of floating. I'm going to use my vise. Crank it down good. Bring it in here. We need to get a socket that fits this inner circle, but I don't want it to be the same size. So I want it to be just a hair smaller. I gotta run those down. So, hair smaller, sledgehammer, and then it's just a lot of this. It all flies out. Now, when you guys buy the hub or bearing or whatever, buy the whole kit. Comes with hub and the bearing. Because otherwise, you have to heat up and try to get that part of the bearing off of there. That's not worth your time. Trust me. Just buy the whole set. I'm always for saving $1, but to get that off of there is probably going to take me 30-45 minutes of cussing. I'm not doing that. So that's not what we're doing. This thing has a C-clip in there. You need one of these. There's a couple other ways of getting this out of here, but they're all a pain. Just get some of these things and take that out of there. And then we have to get this bearing out. Now, first things first, we gotta get this seal. Need a hammer back. We just beat that ring in a little bit so we can get under it. That's off. Let's beat the edge in. Try not to mar up the surface when you do that, but now you need a big enough socket or something to beat that out of there. Mine's not quite big enough, but it goes in the center, whatever. Again, you need something to hold this up so you can beat it through the bottom. This is a pain to beat out of here. It's going to take you forever, but you can do it with a sledgehammer. Getting it to start moving. Gemini. apart. Still ain't came out. Dang! There it went. Yeah. There's your bearing. Got her out. Alright, so next thing's up is getting these bearings put in here. There's a couple ways you can. You can freeze them and then heat this up. It works, but you got to get it awful hot. But regardless, you can get these in just by beating them in with a sledgehammer. Like I said, you can get all this in. The sledgehammer, it's a pain. First things first though, you need to take some sandpaper. I've already done it, but you need to clean up this lip on wheel side. They get rusty and then this bearing does not want to go past it. So clean that up. Lubrication never hurts. Put your bearing in there. Okay. We need, no, regardless. I'm not going to do it all the way in. Like I said, it's better if you have something that can hold it. You do not want to get this in here lopsided when you're hitting it in. You need to get it as straight as possible. If you get it kinked, it's really not going to want to go in there. You get your piece of wood. Just start hammering her in. She went a little crooked on me. There you go. Starting to go in there. Slow get. Oh, come on. Slow gettings, but you can smack it in there with a sledgehammer. When you get to, because this has to be inset by yay much, take your old bearing. That's dirty. Take your old bearing and line it up with that and then start hitting it to countersink it. But again, I have a vise, so why not use it, right? But that's proof of concept. You can just beat it in there with a hammer. There you go. Now, when you're hitting it with a sledgehammer, you're gonna know because the tone is gonna change as you're hitting it. And then flip it over. You can kind of tell it's flush with that surface down there. That's be what you're looking for. Okay. Now you need your new C-clip. Don't get your face near these because, ooh. Yeah, because they'll go jettisoning off to outer space. Like this one's trying to do. You know what? My plier things aren't very good. Okay, I know I got cheap ones. Oh God. Oh. I wonder. My needle nose might fit. Yeah, look at that. My needle nose fit. Those will hold better. Alright. Now I partially got it in there. You can keep using those. See, it's up off there. Or just it's in there. Now, don't know if this is a requirement, but I do it. Maybe some grease. Grease all that up. The one I took off did not have this in there. I don't honestly believe you need to. But I don't want water to get in here and rust all this or anything. You know? And I'll put some in on this bore. And then clean my hands off. Now again, this part you can beat in as well. When you go beating this in, you don't want to hammer your threads or mess any of this up. Like a flat bar or something to hit, or what I do, block of wood stood up on end. That way you're hitting up here, not down here. Then the next problem you're gonna have is when you go to beat that through, you're gonna end up beating this back race off, which is a problem. So you need like something on the back of it so you don't beat this out when you're trying to beat that in. All right. And that's in there. I got one thing left, which is your seal. I don't really need, just need some sort of lubricant. Always helps regardless. That's not needed in this situation, but I'm doing it anyways. Rubber up, this metal part go down, and again, use your bearing, the side that's missing the piece, it fits right over that seal. Then back to your chunk of wood. And your seal's in. All good. Done rebuilt your hub. Like I said, whoop. Like I said about half a dozen times. This all can be done with sledgehammer. Not the preferred way, but it can be done. So, but now we're down to bushings.